go. I take it to another level because I say that healing is about defense. That's our immune system protecting us on a 24/7 basis. Defense of our body. Viruses, bacteria, all the things that invade us, we've got strategies that protect us from that with defense. Another area is repair. And all of our products assist in the repair. When Shan is going to train, he's destroying tissue in his body. He's doing it in a controlled way, but he's damaging tissue. Tomorrow, with a good night's sleep, that tissue will heal and he can train again. If he exceeds homeostasis, then his repair mechanisms are now deficient and he doesn't recover from that bout of exercise and he sets himself up for injury. And he just came off of a massive injury because something was out of balance in the system. And so balance becomes incredibly important in medicine. And in life, if we have balance, physically, mentally, spiritually, we are much better at the top of our game than if we're not. So I want to talk real quickly. This will be easy. What do our products do? Provide raw materials so the body can heal itself, defense, repair, regulation, and that's normally through our chemistry of our hormone system. Yeah, we affect that somewhat. And then regeneration of tissue. And 4 years ago when we started, the very first week, we were already taking samples of our 7+ and putting it in powder form and sending it to laboratories to look at adult stem cell work that these incredible scientists are doing to regenerate damaged organs in humans. Pancreases that are type 1 diabetics that are genetically damaged are regrowing new again with adult stem cell work. And so we knew that botanicals for a long time did that, so we've already got great laboratory validation that our products assist in that area of regeneration of human tissue. And that's just incredible, and that's beyond repair. We're talking now regeneration of tissue that theoretically can't regrow, like brain tissue, eye tissue, tissues that medically we used to think could not be changed. But if we get the balance right, anything's possible. Thank you, God, because that's not possible with man. So our products provide those raw materials so that our bodies can be in balance. So let's start with a good night's sleep. We'll assume that we got one. And Kevin said it right. We've got now our body in a state of fasting. It's taken everything out of the bloodstream, and the body is now in hibernation. And when you wake up, the body is seeking balance again. It's got to renew its biochemistry. And so what happens, that first input into the system is going to change things for the next 12 to 14 hours. And here's what's incredible. Botanicals, like the metabolic capsules, are always absorbed better on an empty stomach. I start the day with a half a bottle of Zilla and a full bottle of Focus on an empty stomach because I want those nutrients in my system to begin to bring the body not only out of the fasting state, but give it every known 74 things that Kevin talked about and the other 10,000 that science has now discovered that they're not essential nutrients, but without them you cannot live to your full potential. So we do that first thing in the morning to start that fast breaking, and you can do that with Zilla, Performance, Focus, Classic. It really doesn't matter because they all have thousands and thousands of inputs to begin the balance of body chemistry. And then 30 minutes later, for the last 45 plus years, 30 minutes later, after a botanical insult to my system, I consume protein. And I've been doing that way before X-Fuse ever came along. And why? The reason is that begins to set the blood chemistry balance in the system called the pancreatic system, the hormones that drive insulin metabolism in the body. If they get the wrong balance, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, they are out of balance and cannot be controlled for the next 12 to 14 hours. And so if you do it wrong first thing in the morning, you cannot catch up during the day. And I don't care how much organic food you eat, how many Whole Foods places you go to. If you have the Krispy Kreme and a cup of sugary coffee, you have now messed up your chemistry, homeostasis, for 14 hours, and it's irreparable. Damage is occurring that's going to require some strategy to repair it. And so, if you're going to live a long time, and that's my goal, and do it healthfully, you've got to learn to get balance in our food inputs. And it's just like Jan, when he's training, he's got to balance aerobic and anaerobic training right at the fine-tuned balance, or his system will get off and bam, he'll have an injury. Or his neurochemistry will get off and he'll go into a state of depression, real common with athletes. Or he'll overtrain, his immune system will drop because he's out of balance, and he'll get a flu or he'll get a cold, he'll miss a week or two of training, and he will not be a competitive athlete. So balance in the system is everything in medicine. And so when we start talking about health, homeostasis is the driver for what we do. So we've got botanicals to start the day, and now we've got ShapeWay. And I'm real excited about the technology because we've got the balance of everything in that shake minus the high-level phytochemistry that we've got in our liquid nutritionals. So starting out with the metabolic capsules 30 minutes prior is exactly what I do, except I don't need the metabolic enhancer capsules. So I use Zilla and Focus as my metabolic energizer because it works incredibly that way. So we start the day off first thing with one of our liquid nutritionals or the capsules to get the process started, and then 30 minutes later, 1 to 2 of those shakes. And I was glad to hear the question, how many can you take? I can live on them if I need to. I've done it for weeks at a time. Not a problem whatsoever. You lose weight, and I don't need to lose weight, so I don't like doing that. But that's what I live on the road in Asia, because sometimes the food isn't as great as what I thought it might be. And the last time we were there, we ate on a banana leaf, right? And what was that we ate?
Better not to ask.
Rick said, just don't ask them, just eat it. Don't eat much of it. So, you know, it's a tremendous tool for me, traveling a tremendous amount. I've always got, at my room this morning, we have a buffet breakfast right down the hall. Well, I had room service, made it myself, and then I went down there and I had me some fruit and some other neat things, but I couldn't rely on the hotel food to supply me to get my body chemistry in balance. I've got X-Fuse to do that, and that's a tremendous tool that each of you have. So the metabolic capsules that gets us through breakfast, what do we do the rest of the day? Hopefully the next meal after breakfast is a balance of protein, carbohydrates, and fats in the right ratios. And what do you need? Everybody's chemically different, so we really don't know, but here's what we know. If you'll get one of each of those, quality, quantity counts, and get those right, you'll change everything in terms of your health patterns. So lunch, food out, and I can eat in a restaurant here and keep that balance going. Did that today at lunch with our buffet. Then we have the rest of the day, and we have general nutritional needs for every system in the body. And those are the 74 things that we talk about in vitamins and minerals. But now science is saying you need tens of thousands of molecular structures if you're going to balance your body chemistry correctly and keep it that way and have optimal health. So we've created 7+ Classic, Performance, and Premium Focus. They all have the same 80% base, providing an enormous array of full body nutrition. And then our Performance has got a special array of botanicals that are made to balance the homeostasis of the inflammation systems of the body. So that if you're young and you're inflamed, or if you're old and inflamed, we've got a strategy to help balance that with that particular product. And if you're a little bit older, or if you're under stress of any kind, your brain vessels contract. They're out of balance because of stresses of life bring us out of balance. So Premium Focus really works 80% full body nutrition, all those incredible phytochemicals for multiple body systems. But now we have something specific for the brain itself. This is true brain food. And then we've got Greenzilla. And Greenzilla to me is not an energy drink, even though it does provide my brain with tremendous homeostasis or balance. And that balance comes in the neurotransmitter systems of the brain. And we've put compounds in there that no other company's got, and some of them don't even have access to the raw materials. And they're in Greenzilla to bring about homeostasis, again, in the brain chemistry format. And I've been in Chris's home doing a meeting and have had people in there talking about how it's changed the way their life is working because of that brain chemistry stuff. And I can think of somebody's daughter that had a great testimony there that night. So that's what our products do. They provide raw materials to the body so the body can heal itself, but they work at the upstream level, the highest level upstream that we know about in our brain function to bring about balance. And all things in the body emanate from the brain, whether it's energy, whether it's desire, or whether it's depression. It all starts in the brain. So we've got strategies that balance chemistry in the body from the foot to the top of the head. It does it in every known body system. And that is an unbelievable thing, because in pharmaceutical medicine, there are no drugs available that work on more than one system at one time. That's the way drugs work. They dial them in to work on one metabolic pathway, and they do a great job of that, but there's always a downside. Our products work globally in the system, and every one of your body systems is getting a nutritional input, hopefully, like I do, multiple times a day, so that you can get the bloodstream full of these nutrients. When the body kicks in to rebalance, it's got the raw materials to bring about that balance. And that in itself is like Nobel Prize science. And I think a guy like Jim Jamison someday, probably 30 years after he dies, he will be recognized as one of those early pioneers that showed us how to survive in the 21st century. So that's what your products are. That's what they do. I'm really looking forward to seeing how many cities we can get to, how many new countries, Rick, we can get to in 2012 as we open new markets. Shirley and I have spent our lives in a clinical practice working with thousands of people. Our whole lives have been about service. And I couldn't be more thrilled doing what I'm doing unless I was in the clinical environment. And I think it's time to move on, because we have an opportunity, Rick. If we do this right, we're going to have a big impact on changing world health. So I thank you all for being here, and let's have a phenomenal 2012.